Do you remember when you were asking to go to the toilet and the teacher was answering, "In English, please"? Well, now I can say this shit in English, but also a lot of other things. So the point of this video is that I have to only speak in English. I think I can do it. Of course I can do it. Who the fuck I am? I'm fucking Alvin, bro. Let's start with the beginning. I had the idea to make this video maybe like 3-4 months after I landed in Australia. I had the idea when I noticed that I was able to spend like a whole day or a whole night with someone from another country. So we were both speaking in English and I was like, fuck, I'm speaking English like every time right now. And I'm doing well, so I was proud of that and I was like, I want to show it to the people that now I'm fucking speaking in English, you know? I'm going a bit too fast, maybe I should like start from the beginning. So I'm gonna talk about my level in English before I came in Australia, my level in English now. Of course, it's like way different than before, but I'm gonna explain how I improved myself, what's the best like advice that I can give you. So I think I started to learn English like when I was 10 or 11 or something. I wasn't really a good student in English, I never was. Except maybe in high school. But before that, I was like, fuck, okay, I'm just like learning English like if it was history, like I don't give a shit. I was able to understand some stuff, but I wasn't able to speak a good English, especially the vocabulary was missing. But yeah, I improved myself a lot like since I'm here, of course, and different things helped me, but those different things helped me also before I came in Australia. And I'm gonna explain you how I started to improve myself even before I came in Australia without going to school to learn this fucking language. So I started to learn English way before I came in Australia. I mean like a few years ago, I started to watch movies and series in English with the French subtitle. With that, I learned some like expressions, some way to say the thing. Even the word like, it's like in French, genre. And this word is really useful because you can put it like everywhere. In the middle of the sentence, at the end or at the beginning, you know, it's really fucking useful to say something. Yeah, it started at this moment. I think I was like 16, 17 and I was like really focused to learn English. I've seen this advice on internet, like the best way to improve yourself in English is to watch movies and series in the original voice with like the French subtitle. So that's what I started to do and that's fucking helpful. That's the best advice I can give you to learn English if you're still in France or something. So after that, I decided to come in Australia and if I want to be honest with you, that's the best choice I ever did in my entire life. After I landed in Australia, I spent like my first week with non-French people. They were like 2 German people, 1 from England, and yeah, I guess that's it. That's funny because you can see them in the first video that I did when I landed in Australia. So I made like a vlog about my trip from France to here. And at the end of this video, I'm in Australia. Actually, I'm in Brisbane in the State Library. I remember that. And they were with me and like I was recording myself with my phone to like close the video. And after that, I start to spend time with French people because I met French people in my hostel in Brisbane. And yeah, I was spending a lot of time with the French people also, but I was forcing myself to go with people from other countries because I wanted to improve myself in English. And I knew that if I was staying with French people, I wouldn't learn anything. So I wasn't stuck with French people. And that's the mistake that a lot of people are doing when they're coming in Australia. So they are not improving themselves in English and they are complaining about like, oh, but you're speaking in English and I'm not. Oh, that's so bad. But bro, you're just spending your whole time with French people. You're making like 0 effort. So that's normal if you're not improving in English because you're not trying to improve yourself in English, you know? That's the biggest mistake that you can do. It's like coming in a country where you can learn a new language and you're not learning a new language. Also, a good thing that I did, and some people are doing and some people are not because it's not like their fault. It depends if you're traveling alone or not. On my side, like I was traveling alone, so it was easier for me to spend time with different people because I was alone, so I had to meet new people, you know. But if you're coming with like your friends group, you're not trying to meet new people as much as if you were alone, you know, because you're like staying with your friends, so you're speaking in your normal language and you're not improving in another language. So that's the mistake you can do. So if I can give you like 2 advice to improve your yourself in another language is travel alone, because it forces yourself to meet new people, and don't stay with people from the same country than you, at least the people who are speaking the same language than you, because I'm here since more than 9 months now, but I met some people that are here like since 3-4 months, and their English is still super bad. I mean, this motherfucker, I was talking with him, he is French, you know, and he was like asking to get a job, you know, in a Woolworths. It's like a supermarket here. You can like compare it to like Leclerc in France. Fuck it, yeah. It was like, yeah, I look for a job. I look for a job, tu vois. He's here like since 4 fucking months, you know, like, oh, the fuck, you can't know that you have to say, I'm looking for a job and not I look for a job. You know, it's so fucking wrong. And I'm not like judging him, but fuck, I am judging him, because bro, you're here since like 4 months and you don't know how to say that you're looking for a job. And for me, this is like fucking crazy, because you have the opportunity, you're lucky because you can like learn something new, but you're not making any effort because you're spending your fucking whole time with French people. Sometimes I'm kind of pissed, and I shouldn't be, but I am, because that's me, and fuck it. Yeah, people are complaining because, oh, I'm not speaking English, na na ni na na na. That's a French stuff to say na na ni na na na, and I'm saying it in English. That's funny. Actually, living in a hostel is helping you a lot, because you're meeting people from everywhere. So yeah, I met people from everywhere, from Brazil, Colombia, Spain, Italia, Norwegian, Israel, Egypt, South Africa. It's fucking crazy how many people from different countries you can meet in a hostel. But that's also a trap if you're staying in a hostel, because lately a lot of French people, like since September, arrived in Australia. It's fucking full as fuck everywhere. And yeah, it's a trap, because if you don't know how to speak in English, maybe you can be like kind of afraid to learn and to make mistakes, because when you're speaking English, of course at the beginning you don't have a good English and you have a bad accent, you have a bad English, so you're afraid if people are like laughing about you, so you're not trying to learn English anymore, and you're spending time with French people, and that's a big mistake. Another mistake that you can avoid is not living in a hostel, because it's a totally different ambience than if you're living in an apartment only with your friend or alone. Everything is fucking different, and I think I never was that happy that I was living in an hostel. Try to live in an hostel at least for a few weeks to see if it fits you. Even after 9 months in Australia, if I had the choice right now to live in a hostel or in my private room with like 3 or 4 roommates, I would go in a private home, but in a hostel. But the thing is, in a hostel, it's more expensive than in a private room sometimes, because you don't have a contract and you can live whenever you want. And the hostel Brisbane quarter were allowing us to do that, but I never did that because I was alone in Brisbane quarter. I couldn't afford to pay like a private room just for me. It's really easy to make new friends in a hostel, because everywhere you're going, there is someone else already. Or if there is not someone else already, you'll be the first one, but someone's gonna join you. Like if you're going for a smoke, someone's gonna join you to smoke. And because he or her is sitting like near you, I know, like, do you have a lighter? Yeah. Oh, where are you from? No, things like this. It's super easy to make you friend when you're having your breakfast, because everyone is eating at the same table. You're sitting in front of someone. Hello, hey, how are you? Where are you from? Things like this. And it's going way so fast to make new friends. It's fucking crazy. And I think like that's the best thing I lived when I was in a hostel. It's you're meeting people every day. But when I mean every day, it's like every day, because every day someone else is arriving and every day someone else is leaving. And that's one of the bad stuff of living in this way of life as a backpacker, because like some people are staying like for just a few days, some other for a few hours, and some other are staying here for a few months. But sometimes they don't know that they're staying a few months in the same place. It represents me well.
I spent 5 months and a half in the same hostel.
I think I met more people in 5 months in a hostel than in maybe like 4 or 5 years in my life in France. So that's one of the reasons that I don't want to go back in France. It's because in France I'm gonna spend time with the same people that I was doing before I came here. And here I'm spending time every time with new people, and that's what I love. Okay, I love it, okay? I'm not laughing a lot in this video, but yeah, I love it. I remember there were like a group of people from England in my hostel in Brisbane quarter. So I spent 5 months and a half over there. It was like the best part of my life. I met so many people over there. Honestly, it was fucking amazing and I miss it a lot. And the only thing I want to do now is to go back in Brisbane quarter and meet new people again, but I can't do that. I remember like at first in my hostel, there were like the French group, maybe like 20-25 people from France and maybe like 15-20 people from England. So they were like the French people, the England people, and the people from everywhere else. And they were not speaking to each other. And after that, a Brazilian group arrived. Something happened with the Brazilian group behind Brisbane Quarter. So Brisbane Quarter were closing at 10 during the night, and we were not able to stay like to talk in the common area. So we were forced to go like outside of the hostel. Something happened one night, like the French people mixed with the Brazilian people. We were like 30 to make like a party in the street just behind Brisbane Quarter, and it was fucking amazing because I've got like a few memories. For those who've seen my story on Instagram, it's the night when I asked to two Brazilian girls to pronounce the name of the city where I'm coming from in France, so Pludalmezo, but with the Brazilian accent it was like Pludalmezao.
Ouais, du coup là je suis avec une brésilienne. What's your name?
Juliana.
Juliana. Gonna told me where I'm from.
Pludalmezo.
Pludalmezo.
Pludalmezo. Pludalmezo.
On n'oublie pas d'où l'on vient. Donc là je suis avec what's your name?
Pludalmezo. No, no.
Mais non, elle a pas compris. Okay, what's your name?
Beatriz.
Beatriz. Okay, Beatriz. And where I'm from?
Brazil.
No, me. Me, where I'm from?
Pludalmezo.
Oh la vache.
Some amazing stuff can happen between different groups from different country, and I think remember during my whole life the thing between the Brazilian people and the French people. And after that, something happened. The England people and the French people start to like do something together, you know. I recorded my first video in Australia. It was about the hostel in Brisbane Quarter. It was about Brisbane Quarter, what the fuck I'm saying. I remember I recorded Holly and Edward, so I can like put their face right now. So this is Holly.
Present myself. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Holly.
And this is Edward.
Ed, 23, London.
At first, they were not really my friend. I mean, like, we were just having a quick chat in the hostel, but not spending time together. And after that, the thing changed. Like, we started to get friends, to see each other outside of the hostel. And it's weird because we've waited like a few weeks, maybe a few months to start to be friends. Because when we arrived, they were like the French group and the English group. And it was like sort of a match, like who is the best. And I remember because in Brisbane Quarter, you have like the big table where everyone is eating. If the English people were arriving before us on the big table, that means it was their table for this moment. A few weeks after I arrived, the French people started to be more than the English people. So the table started to be our table, and it was like something funny that I noticed. I think the most difficult accent to understand is like the English accent, because those motherfuckers have Edward or Ollie or anyone else. If you're looking this video, your accent is like disgusting, but thanks because you were making effort to speak with the French people, and that was really nice from you, but your accent is like not really beautiful. I prefer the American accent, to be honest. To learn English, there is also a motivation. If I want to be completely honest with you, one of the best way for me to learn English was also to flirt with girls. It's like a fucking good motivation to learn English, because you like what you hear, you like what you see, and you like the time you're spending, you know, and you know that you're improving yourself while you're doing something that you like. It means like spending time with someone you like. And it's funny because you're trying to do it, but in English. So everything is different. And I had the idea to make this video when I noticed that I was able to spend like a whole night with a girl, and I was just only speaking in English. Of course, at the beginning it's difficult because you're using the translation, Google Translation, to translate. That's completely obvious, fuck me. So at the beginning it's weird. Sometimes the other person got like a better English than you, sometimes you got a better English than her. So yeah, you have to make an effort, but it's like an effort that you are able to make because it's someone you want to f, so you have to work for. Fuck, it's really weird. For those who've seen my video with Julia, so the Brazilian girl, kind of my ex-girlfriend, by the way. I met her in Brisbane. We spent sort of a month and a half together. When she came, she was speaking a better English than me. But when I was spending time with her, I really liked this time because it became my girlfriend, but it's another story. Because the English language was not her first language, she had an accent. But she didn't have like an accent who is difficult to understand or something. I guess that's it. I'm gonna try to edit this video. It's gonna be so fucking difficult because like I'm not sure about how I'm gonna edit it. I talk a lot about a lot of different stuff, but in the disorder, so it makes no sense for now in my head, but during the edit I will have to correct that. I'm a bit tired of this shit because like making a video while I'm speaking English, it's not really easy. I hope this shit's gonna make sense for you, and I hope like this video is gonna motivate some of you to learn a new language or just to travel. Thanks everyone for listening to me until now. I don't know what the next video is gonna be, but see you soon, really soon. Ciao.
Let's go!